Hi guys, this is a continuation of my previous video on Google Colaboratory. In the first video, we look at how you can get Google Colab to your computer. Now, after you have installed the Google Colab to your Google Drive, now how do you have access to the Google Colab to start coding? You simply look at this button here, Colaboratory team. When you click on this team here, this arrow here, or you click on the team, it's going to take you to the same place where you have different team and also where you can start a new notebook. So I'm going to click on this. And basically, when you click on that, it opens the Google Colab interface for you, and also welcome to Google Colab introductory, which is going to give you more or less like some overview on how you or what the Google Colab could do for you. Basically, it does not really tell you much about the step by step you need to follow to get things done. And that is why you need to watch this video and learn from here. Now, if you are on this page, you have this following example. You find example on the Google Collaboratory chart, Markdown, and as I said, it doesn't really give much details. And if you wish to watch from here and learn from here, you are welcome to do that. You just simply need to click on any of this button here, which is going to open this space for you. And then here it shows the recent. The recent here would basically show you the previous Google Collaboratory, which I created earlier. And here takes you to the Google Drive. Again, if you open one of these drive, you'll definitely find some of the work I've done, which I save on my Google Drive. And here is the GIT Hub. The GIT Hub here, it takes you to the GIT Hub, which is basically also giving you access to different code from GIT Hub or the OpenAI or machine learning resources, where you can find some code you could bring in to run on Google Colab. You don't have to. If you already know how to do some basic coding, you should be able to write your code on Google Colab. If you are not too sure about specific code, of course, the ChatGPT AI can actually write some code for you. If you like to learn about that, you could watch my other videos on AI. Now, if you come to this section here, it basically shows you upload. It could also be upload a Google Colab file that you were already working on previously. Now, if you have not worked on Google Colab at all, one way that you could get started is to start with a new notebook. You simply click on this option here, and that opens a new notebook for you. It takes a few minutes. You can see from here that is loading, and that will load in a matter of seconds. Now, this is the functions you can find on Google Colab. Here, you can rename your Google Colab to whatever you want to call it. Let me call it Colab training. And automatically, once you get out of this space, it's going to save. Now, you remember that the Google Colab basically run on Jupyter. So that's why you need to leave this code here to retain that version of Jupyter on your Google Colab. And then that brings you to this space here. Typically, you may not really have this in your whole Google Colab. In case you do not, I'm going to show you how you could get started by having the coding sessions on your Google Colab. I'm going to delete this one here, which is going to be this coding line here, which you can delete from your right side. I'll click on this button here. Now, you have this version here. Before I start doing anything coding, let's get started by knowing the version. So here you have the file. Under the file, you could start a new notebook, which is going to take you to a new Google Colab, upload a notebook you already have. And you could do multiple things from this file, basically saving and creating a new notebook, or even moving some of your notebook to Bin, which you are no longer using. You definitely need to do this if you do not longer need the Google Colab, because that will create some space on your Google Drive. Then next is the edit. Under the edit, you find different functions here. You could paste information you want to paste into your Google Colab, and many other functions, including the notebook setting, or even create out output or the coding or the text you would have written or your Google Colab, all of them can be created off once just from this function here. And here you have the view. Under the view, you have the table of content, the notebook information. If you do leave some information there, you can execute code, history, or command. So basically, you find multiple functions here too. Here under the insert, and this is where I would like to show you how you could include the code line. So this is a code set. When you click on this code set, it's going to create this line for you in case you do not have this line in your previous assets. Now, this is one function, and one quick way to create a code line is to use the cross code here is going to create another line here. We still have this line here. So these are multiple codes you could write on your Google Colab. And once you have written a code here, the other way to be very fast with your coding is to use Shift Enter. Shift Enter would leave your code here and run your code, and then you could move on to the next code set. If you use Shift Enter, it doesn't work. You could try the Control Enter. One of those two functions would take you to the next code set, and then you could continue on the coding. The coding. Continue to write the code. Now, if we go back to the session here, you could also include text in your code, could be description or even text you are going to run. So basically you could include those texts in this section here. You don't have to save it. Once you enter this information, you could save from here, it automatically saved. And here it shows that all changes saved. So you don't have to bother about saving. Now, this is the runtime. The runtime is also quite important for you to understand. You could take you could look at some portion here like change the runtime. So basically, your Google Colab will run on standard runtime. You could also change it to GPU. The GPU is more or less a virtual computer space, and that allows you to do coding on crowd as if you were actually working on your computer. The GPU is a lot faster, and sometimes once you create your GPU, it may take 1 or 2 days for it to be created for you or approved for you. The GPU has limited space. If you are actually into programming and you require a lot of space and want to have constant access to GPU, then you will need to subscribe to the pro version of the GPU. And here is other functions if you would like to look at this. I have personally not used this and I have no reason to sort of access it at this stage. So basically, this is a different function on the Google Colab. Now, this particular session here, or this line of activity here, is one session. If I want to start writing a program for a different session, I'll basically come to this icon here on the far left, and I'll click on this. It's going to give me a space. So under this space, I can say the files I have on this Google Colab, if I have uploaded the files, and I'm going to have a video that will show you on how to upload files. To add a new session, you basically come here and click on session, and that will create a new session for you. And you could start creating code within the session. To start creating code, you go to cross code, and that will create a new code set on this new session. And you could also add more sessions depending on if you are creating different programs or making different codes. Basically, if you wish to delete any of the sessions, if you don't need them, you go to the file right, and then you click on the delete function there, the same with the next function. So basically gives you a lot of options about what you can have access to. This button here that will tell you what files or what data you have on your Google Colab. And there are 2 ways you can upload data on your Google Colab. The other videos I'm going to produce is going to show you how to do that, which means upload the files from your Google Drive or upload the file from your computer. So that would give you definite access to your Google Colab in terms of bringing file from any of the sources. I hope this video was useful to you. subscribe to this channel to have access to future videos on machine learning and other computer tech assistance.